So even with all of the pinch runners that Michigan threw in the last inning, their defensive alignment stays the same here in the bottom of the sixth as Casey Hoffman steps in now. That pitch is in there for strike one. Hoffman, another one of the players still searching for her first hit of the series, as it looks like
we got maybe a little timing. The umpire was pointing to his wrist. They're going to call it a ball. They're going to say a pitch clock violation.
Alrighty then. And that first pitch misses outside, so the count is 2-0 to Casey Hoffman. Like we mentioned, still searching for her first hit of the series. Just one of the few. She's 0 for 5 so far this weekend. That one's fouled off towards the first base side. Hoffman last year, NFCA All-Mountain Region 3rd team. Comes over from Arkansas. His teammates with the Cammonsen twins. She gets the stare down from Ellis. That one's going to be hit right up the middle into center field. Hoffman stops at first, and it's a one-out single for the Cornhuskers.
Feels like today when we've said the Husker players haven't had a hit, they've been able to drive them, and Casey Hoffman does her job there, gets on to bring up Kaneda, who apparently has a little power in her bat after that first plate appearance she had in this afternoon's game. And look at this, look who we got here.
The first appearance of the season for Kennedy Williams, as she's going to come in and pinch run for Casey Hoffman. Obviously she hadn't appeared so far yet because she's also on the Nebraska women's basketball team. They just got back from Indianapolis not too long ago. She did get one start last season, but she was mainly used as a pinch runner, as that one's inside on Kaneda. Williams, arguably the fastest runner for Nebraska, as once she got back from basketball season last year, felt like every time Nebraska needed a pinch runner, it was Kennedy Williams.
Yeah, she was great for the Huskers on the court this year as well. Very scrappy player out on the floor. See if she can do it on the base paths here.
Caitlin Kaneda, 1 for 2 so far today with that home run back in the second inning. Grounded out her last time up. Trying to extend the Husker lead, give them a couple runs of insurance heading into the top of the seventh. Base runner on, only one out. Kaneda, like we mentioned, came into this game batting 1 for 4, so she hasn't had a ton of at-bats this season, but she's making the most of it today, as that one's going to be hit right towards second base. Double play opportunity won't happen, but they get the out at second. Williams will make the trot back to the dugout, and Kaneda will stand at first.
Good by Michigan there to have the awareness to flip it to second. Almost got Kaneda at first. It was a bang play, but good hustle by Caitlin Kaneda to keep the inning alive.
And that brings up Lauren Cammonsen, also searching for her first hit of the weekend. Comes in 0 for 5 to this at-bat, following a weekend prior where she went 3 for 10 and drove in a couple and scored a couple.
Huskers looking to roll that lineup over with Jordy Fromm on deck, just 3 outs away from a win though.
That one misses outside. Kaneda almost fell over trying to get back to first. As Fromm awaits by her dugout, sharing a couple of words. A 2-0 count now to Lauren Cammonsen, as she's going to hit that one into left center field. The runners will advance one back. Kaneda stays on second, and it's a 2-out single for Cammonsen.
Good piece of hitting by Lauren Cammonsen to bloop one down right behind the shortstop over there, finding a little gap, and now the Huskers have some offense moving with 2 away here in the bottom of the sixth.
Last time she was up, Jordy Fromm left the yard back in the fifth. we get the fourth quarter back underway, 5:40 left. The ball is with Orgevold. He's back in the game. Spyakowski, he's trying to take it himself underneath the basket, draws the and one. And the lead's cut to 15 with 5.5 minutes remaining.
Beck, how about Sutton Prikowski there driving it in, doing it himself? He's been doing it all day. Like you said just before, during the break, he's been putting the team on his back. He's been the one to make this one go.
And Delgado, he'll pick up his fourth foul of the day. He's put up 19 points and 13 rebounds through 2 games so far in the state tournament. He's got 9 points today and a few rebounds as Spyakowski completes the 3-point play, so now the lead's cut to 14.
Elkhorn North, we've mentioned it before, but they got to get something going around the arc once again to try to cut into this 14-point deficit.
Menninger, he'll take it himself. Now he finds Clemens, and then Clemens just kicks it out to Sabala in the left corner. Ball makes its way around to the right wing. Now back to Clemens at the top of the key. Meininger, he'll walk it, just trying to burn clock. Up 14, Meininger. Now he's going to drive, kicks it out to the corner. Kelly for 3. That one's too strong. Picked up by Murphy, and Elkhorn North with a chance to respond. As the ball is stolen away by Menninger, he keeps it from going out of bounds. And there's a timeout called by Scottsbluff. What a timeout by the Bearcats, knowing that it was on their side of the court when Menninger picked it up.
Yeah, but Beck, what a smart play by Riley Menninger. He fell on the ball, wrapped it up, and called the timeout to avoid the jump ball with the Wolves.
You don't see IQ like that very often, but when it happens, it could be one of the biggest plays of the entire game, and that really feels like it just shut off all the momentum that Elkhorn North was building.
Yeah, Elkhorn North trying to go fast there, loses it, and Menninger with a hustle play defensively, getting back on defense, and it pays off in a big way. And then the smart play to call a timeout to maintain the possession for the Bearcats.
That's got to be one of the smartest plays I've ever seen in the state tournament. Menninger, massive IQ and some good ball knowledge on that dive. He got there right before any Wolf could get their hands on the ball. And Scottsbluff will take it the other way in the final 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Berta now with it in the corner. He needs some help. Oliver keeps it in. Oliver Carpenter keeps it in. But now Elkhorn North takes it the other way and goes the and one. Peterson puts it up underneath the basket, and another potential 3-point play for Elkhorn North.
Like if everybody for Nebraska didn't put everything out on the court, then they wouldn't have forced overtime. But then when overtime started, I mean, you can take a look at the box score. Rank Mass put up. I mean, he put up one shot, but he only played the first minute of overtime for Nebraska. And after that, Nebraska was still able to hold their own for a little bit. But then Purdue took it right back, and honestly, in large part, because you didn't have Mass there on defense for Nebraska, Purdue picked up 6 offensive boards in 5 minutes of overtime.
I was just about to mention that, Beck. You look at the shot count that each team had, and Chris, we talked about this. They had double the shots that the Huskers did in overtime, and I assume all of that pretty much came with Rink Mass off the floor.
I think one thing that I came away thinking after watching that game was, how different would this team be if we had a real backup 5? We had Leo Curtis, but he got hurt and we didn't play that game.
Yep.
And if Oogie was not out for the year, how different would this season have gone with those ranked teams like Michigan, Illinois, and now Purdue?
I feel like you almost have to chalk up the Michigan and at least the Michigan game due to injury / sickness.
Extenuating circumstances.
Right. Because what you saw from Michigan, and I think, even people who don't really follow Nebraska basketball still understood that if Nebraska had one of either Braden Frager or Rank Mass for that game, they probably win that game. That's probably not a I won't say it's not a greater than one possession win, but a lot of people agreed that Nebraska probably wins that game if they both play fully healthy again. And then with the Illini game,
that's just a national championship contender.
Yeah, I mean,
Keaton Wagler's just so good.
Yeah, the Illini are going to play tough, and even though Braden Frager was able to drop 20 points, like Coach Hoiberg said, Frank Mast played like a guy who was in the ER until 3 in the morning, which then brings up the question, should Frank Mast have even played that game at all? And do you then, basically purely rely on Barricade Buchanan?
So 1st and 10 for Nebraska from the 49-yard line. Latif and Mosey with Mekhi Nelson in the backfield. Mosey rolls over to Latif's right. And Latif going to take a deep shot here and overthrows his receiver, Carter Nelson, the tight end turned wide receiver for this Cornhusker offense.
And Latif has Carter Nelson on the deep out route. Throws it too high and too out inside. He leads him outside. He's got a nice completion by the 30-yard line. Carter Nelson showing the speed on the deep out route to get open.
That's Latif's first incompletion of his Husker career. 3 for 4 on the day with 56 yards passing. So 2nd and 10 now from the Nebraska 49. Latif steps back to throw, immediately pressured, has to dump it off to Mekhi Nelson. Mekhi Nelson makes a man miss. He's got a wide open field up the near side. He's still going down to the 10-yard line. Mark him out down at the 11, and it's another big gain for the Cornhuskers.
Mekhi Nelson showing a little bit of the agility, makes a man miss, then tight ropes it down the sideline for an extra 10 yards. It's the first time we've seen Nelson really get out in the open and make a play.
40-yard run there, stopped by Amai Branch. The man he made miss was Malcolm DeWalt, and that's what caused the big gain. So 1st and 10 at the 11. And now they're going to take an official review here to see if Mekhi Nelson stepped out back at the 30. Because that's where the officials have spotted this ball.
Yep. Instant replay was able to call down to the official, letting him know he did step out.
And now they're moving the ball back. So they reviewed it first, said he was out, then reviewed it again, and now he's back down at the 10-yard line. So it'll stay a 40-yard gain for Isaiah Mosey.
Gotta love instant replay.
So 1st and goal at the 10-yard line for TJ Latif and his Cornhuskers offense. Latif 4 for 5 for 97 yards in his Husker debut. Rolls out to his right. Trying to keep the ball. Nobody was open. Makes 2 men miss. And he's going to be in for the score. And TJ Latif has his first rushing touchdown of his college career.
TJ Latif giving the old shake and bake to 2 different zips. Making the play, extending the ball at the end. And you can't be too mad at a Husker debut like that.
His first rushing touchdown of his collegiate career, his first touchdown of his collegiate career, and the 4th Nebraska rushing touchdown of the game.
Well, the stop and start ability by Latif at the quarterback position. They're going to say he was just short.
Yeah, they've marked him down at the 1-yard line. So erase the touchdown. And he'll have to come back out. He'll have to come back out and do it again. So 2nd and goal at the 1. So we'll have to wait on TJ Latif's first collegiate touchdown of his career.
Yeah, they're going to mark the forearm down at the 1. Looking back at the replay, it looked like he got mostly palm on that. I didn't see a forearm down. Nonetheless, we're still at the 1.
2nd and goal at the 1. 2 tight ends set for the Cornhuskers. With Mekhi Nelson in the backfield. It's a handoff to Mekhi Nelson, and he's going to walk in for the 1-yard score. And Nebraska has scored 60 points against the Akron Zips. Mekhi Nelson getting his first touchdown of the campaign. 5 plays, 51 yards in just under 2 minutes.